Alexa's Playground was the main event of this week's Monday Night Raw, and I think what we got was a supernatural feast. It was fun, but I won't lie to you, I really feel like we needed more. I feel like WWE should have delivered more. Now, we don't know how the story's going to go. Maybe that's why they haven't yet, but that one little tad of me wanted more. But this is things you might have missed. So before we start, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and please make sure you like the video. It really does help out the channel. So Alexa's Playground once again returned to the ring this week on the main event segment of Raw. I really thought we was going to get Alexa's dark side revealed. Of course, Shayna Baszler was the special guest, and we all know last week she called Lilly the stupid doll. Well, this week Lilly wanted an apology, and Alexa Bliss basically demanded one of Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler didn't look too happy to apologize, but in the end she did actually apologize to Lilly by snatching the Lilly doll from Alexa Bliss's hands and of course throwing it aside. Alexa was visibly upset at the fact Shayna had stole the doll and was holding the doll, and you could start to see this first time that someone had actually taken the doll from Alexa Bliss. Later on, Shayna Baszler actually stomped directly on what she calls the stupid doll, and you think, okay, what's going on here? Everything started to shut down. Alexa's theme song, the Firefly Funhouse distorted theme was playing. Everything, the lights, the Thunderdome screen started to flicker and go off. And Alexa had that smirk on her face and you think, okay, this is it. This is going to be a big reveal. Something's going to happen. And Alexa just went into the ring and held the doll, smirking at Shayna Baszler. Now, this wasn't the end of it. I think if this was the end of it, I would have had a major issue with this segment. I wish for more, but that's just me being a wannabe fan that wants to see more, basically. So what we then got was the supernatural feast. Once again, fire was used as Shayna was making her exit, and I mean, it chased her out of the arena. She went backstage and objects were flying around the place trying to hit Shayna. She couldn't get out the doors. All of the doors were locked to the Thunderdome. Everyone seemed to have disappeared as well. The commentary team did mention that, so that's something to take note of. Of course, she locked herself in a room with the Lilly doll. Kind of. The Lilly doll wasn't actually there, but it was there in the reflection of the mirror. Classic horror. And of course, you got to wonder if Shayna being trapped inside this room with the spirit of Lilly, because physically Lilly wasn't there, but the spirit of Lilly was. Is this a way to possess Shayna Baszler? That's the big question here. This is the progression that I'm talking about. We're saying we want more, but ultimately this is the more that WWE might be giving us. This might be the setup to make Shayna Baszler herself Lilly. But it is now time for the Yowie Wowie moment of the week. And of course it has to be The Miz literally taking a suicide ride down to the ring in his wheelchair. Absolutely hilarious. Now, we did get a video package quite early on in Raw where basically Alexa Bliss told us once again the story of her and Lilly and how the darkness saved her, and they showed highlights ever since she joined the Firefly Funhouse. But notably, they cut out The Fiend. And first of all, I get it. Maybe they don't want to advertise The Fiend in the Alexa Bliss story because that will just mean that maybe they're going to get back together. That's how we'll perceive it. And then I thought about it, and it's true. They don't advertise that The Fiend changed Finn Balor. They don't advertise The Fiend changed Seth Rollins. And maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe they're just not advertising that The Fiend changed Alexa Bliss. Because if you do that, we are, as a fan base, going to sit there and say, oh, that's it. They're definitely getting back together. I don't think it rules them out ever getting back together. But for the time being, maybe they just don't need to do that. For me, this is the exact moment I would have had the dark side of Alexa Bliss come out. Genuinely, if that's a thing WWE are going to do, which I presume it is, I would have had that happen out on this moment. This is like Alexa Bliss's best friend. Her literal entire world is this Lilly doll. And you're just going to let Shayna Baszler stump her in the face? Now, seemingly it didn't seem to hurt Lilly. She seemingly was fine. But why wouldn't you turn to that dark side? An interesting note was prior to the Alexa Playground segment was a backstage promo between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Now, the interesting part here was the history between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Something we know in the Bray Wyatt story is crucial to The Fiend. The Fiend wants revenge, and Nia Jax brought up the history she has with Alexa Bliss. So you got to wonder there again, is that a hint that maybe Nia Jax is going to be that first victim? Now, again, if it's not going to be Alexa Bliss, maybe she's going to be a victim of Shayna Baszler. But it is now time for everyone's favourite things you might have missed segment, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's Puppet Watch! Kind of. Backstage behind Nikki Cross today was seemingly like a rag. And I think that's all it was. I genuinely don't think it's anything. But a lot of people have sent me this or told me to check out the Nikki promo. Now, I honestly think we're looking too deep because I don't think that's a puppet. But it did have my sort of thoughts going as to Bray Wyatt telling us that when he comes back, there will be new friends. If there are going to be new friends, can we identify them? How do we know that that rag isn't something for the Firefly Funhouse? We don't. I don't think it is because it doesn't seemingly take the shape of any animal. But maybe something to keep your eye open on is stuff you just don't see naturally backstage on Raw.
We interrupt this broadcast for an important message from Firefly Funhouse News.
Newsbreak.
It's Liv Morgan's birthday. Literally, at the very time this video goes up on YouTube, 5 a.m. UK, that will be 12 Eastern time, which means it is Liv Morgan's birthday. So you know we're massive Liv Morgan fans here on the channel. So I had to take this opportunity to say, happy birthday, Liv. And we have new merch. There is a new Fiend 8-inch bleacher creature, I don't know what that word is, sitting plush, available now on WWE Shop. There is also a women's racerback tank top of the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, nice little mask symbol there as well. And there is a new Let Me In muscle t-shirt with an image of the Fiend on, and the Fiend tank top, available on WWE Shop now. I really like the Let Me In shirt with the Fiend's mask in white. Looks proper cool. There is new Alexa Bliss merch as well. Two tank tops there, a men's and a women's one. Apparently, though, the one on the left, people are ordering it and getting a completely different top. So beware of that. And then there is this plaque. This is really cool. This is from WWE auction website. Now, this is a Bray Wyatt signed custom Fiend Superstar Edition frame. Only one in existence. It is signed by Bray Wyatt. It says, "Let me in." But what intrigued me most was this. This is the Fiend's autograph. I don't think I've ever seen this before. So that's pretty cool that he's willing to sign items as Fiend. I really like that. That's really super cool. By the way, this isn't available. It's already sold. It sold for $300+ earlier on today. So tough luck if you didn't order it, but it's gone. There was only one as well. It's a damn shame. It's being rumoured on Twitter that there will be a WWE draft following SummerSlam, which I think's pretty cool. Now, personally, I would do it before fans even come back. Define those rosters now so fans know what shows they want to attend to. I think it's still fine. I think they desperately need a draft. They need to shake things up. Maybe this is when they put Bray Wyatt over on SmackDown. That's definitely a possibility at this stage. I'd like to see it. I'd like to know what you think as well. Now, of course, the news is always going to be about Alexa Bliss. And do you know what? I completely understand if you did not enjoy it this week. I think for me, it did leave that taste of, I wanted more. Now, I still say what we got was cool, but I think the way it was hyped, I kind of feel like you should have given us everything this week. And I feel like we did kind of see the mental breakdown of Shayna Baszler and her actually being trapped in that room with the spirit of Lilly. It's the perfect recipe to make her Lilly herself. We actually heard Alexa Bliss say earlier on that, you know, the stupid doll comment, she covered Lily's ears. It's very niche. And I understand why people aren't enjoying this the same way they enjoyed the Firefly Funhouse and Bray Wyatt, because it's not the same. It's still wacky. It's still out there like the Funhouse was. But for some of it, for the wrong reasons. The Funhouse actually did deliver silly moments, but at the same time, it gave you those big OMG moments that made you interested to watch what happened next. So what's next for Lilly? I would put my money right now on Shayna Baszler being Lilly, or possessed by Lilly at the least, and I think that's possible. I don't know. Maybe next week they have to deliver something. I think if you're going to set up for a match at Hell in a Cell, you've got to start delivering and getting people really intrigued in this story. Really interested to know your thoughts though. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video, share the video, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications too and follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. I will see you as always next time. Peace!